always wonder how to build one of these. So guess what? We're gonna build one of these today.
Welcome.
All right. So how's everybody doing? Mark Builds Lego here. In this episode, we're gonna do a how-to. I'm gonna teach myself how to build a MILS plate. What do you think about that? So here we go. This is 32 by 32 MILS plate already completed, done. We got the little green here just to simulate that if the building was being built in this section, this would be a nice little grassy area like a backyard or possibly a front yard, whichever way you wish to do it. This is the overkill way of building it. I did some research on how to build some MILS plates. So I looked into this. We are not using a typical starting Lego base plate. Like this is a 16 by 32 one that you get with a site. As you can see how flexy it is. And it is a lot thinner than the actual plate that we're using. So we're using actually 16 by 16 plates as the base of it as we go through. And as well, we did build a 16 by 32 version as well. So if you're putting the building here and have a nice little grassy backyard or whichever you wish to do. Also, the version that we chose to do from all my research, it added extra Technic pieces in place. You're able to offset your buildings and designs however you want to do it as well. Also, stay tuned towards the end of the video as well. We also have another option to help with the cost because this is a kind of an expensive way of doing things. We do have an alternate Lego base plate that you can use to start your MILS plates as well. So sit back, relax, hang out, leave a comment, all that other fun stuff that we love you to do when we're building this. And also all the parts and pieces that I've used will be in the description below. So you can do your shopping to get your inventory all set up and going. Absolutely a lot of fun building these. So let's jump into this and let's start building. All right, so before we get started in building our MILS plate, we're gonna do an inventory. We're gonna check to make sure we have all the pieces that we are gonna do. Like as I said, we're going with the plated version from all my research going around the YouTube of learning how to do a MILS plate. So we're gonna go with the 16 by 16 plate, a little bit more sturdier as you can see, a little bit more solid. Here's an example, 16 by 32 base plate that came with one of my sets. As you can see, very wobbly. Where typically you would be building your MILS plate on top of this, and then you would be plating on top of that to secure the structure some more. So we're gonna go a little bit overkill, a little bit more strength. And I kind of like this this method of doing it. So to do a full 32 by 32 plate, so as you can see, we've got the 4 plates, 16 by 16. So we're going to do that again. Doesn't matter what color this is. It's purely up to you. This is going to be right at the bottom, so really nobody's going to see it. So up to you what plate color you wish to do for that. As you can see, we're going to need about 60 2 by 2s. These little blocks here. Again, color is purely up to you. Yeah, if you're worried about somebody seeing a base plate or your MILS plate at the edge of a table where they can kind of see on an angle, where they can see under the city a bit, you may want to put your color of choice on the outside rim of your MILS plate, and doesn't really matter what's on the inside of the plate as well, because it's going to be covered by a service plate. So we'll get about 64 of these. Again, in the description, I'll put a full list of all the part numbers and how many I used to build these. So push these aside. We got 16 Technic, four stud, but with the 3 holes in it. As you can see, these little lovely gems. These are basically what's going to help you pin your MILS plates together for all your monitors and all the wacky layouts that you're going to do. Now, normally you're only going to need 8, But at one of the methods I did see, I kind of like the way they did it, and it gives you a little bit more options to offset your MILS plates in more configurations, so you can put like nice little alleyways and stuff like that. We'll get more into that as we go. So we got our Technic pieces, then we got the 2x3 blocks. There's 8 of these. We don't need very many of these at all. Adds some extra connectivity depending on the size of the layer plates that you're going to use for your MILS plate. So we got about 8 of these. I'm not going to bring them all out. I got about 60 of these 4x4 plates. Again, I went with the same color as my the 16x16 plates as well. You may vary on what kind of what makes it easier for you for your sidewalks, your roads, and stuff like that. As well, if you're building out a house on the MILS plate and you've got a front lawn or a back lawn, you want some green, you can add in your colored plates as well, right? So be mindful on how you're building your stuff, and then layer the top of your MILS plate with the color combinations that you need to get the desired effect that you want. But we're going to go all out with about 64 of these. Again, we'll put the amount of number I use in the description so you guys all know. So there we go. That's all the parts we're going to need. So let's start building. Okay, so now we're ready to actually assemble our MILS plates. So I got two 16x16 plates here. We're going to line them up. We'll just do a little soft connect of a little 4 block here. This one on the right, we will hang it off by 1 stud on this side, just because we got to connect the other plates on that side. I'm going to do this half, and then we're going to do the other half on that as well. We need in the middle, or on the edge. Then we're going to put our little Technic pieces in, because this helps connect in the corners on that side. Connect on there. Connect on that side. Now, next, we're going to need our 2x3 bricks. That is the next piece we put in place. And again, that goes right up to the Technic piece as well. So you've got a nice Technic piece, your 2x2 Technic piece, and then your 2x3, and do the audit modified version of where we're doing this. We skip a stud on either side, and we put an extra Technic piece in place. That is the modification version that I saw for this side. This way you get multiple ways of connecting to do some offsets and interesting layouts of how you want to do your modular setup. To go from there on this side, again, we're going to have our little 2x3s, 2x3, and then our lovely 1 stud Technic, 1 stud Technic piece, and then of course our overlap like that. So this way, these pieces are going to connect to the other base plates, and then we have our pieces in the middle. We're going to fill in the middle section right now, and then we're just going to mirror it on the other side. So easiest thing to do for this is start from whatever corner you wish that works for you. We're going to go down to this bottom corner here, and we are going to place it so that we are 1 stud away from 1 stud off of the 2x3, but we're still 2 studs away from the Technic brick basically as well. So that is there, and then you just go 2 studs up, and then you just follow that pattern, 2 studs up. Then you got this one here will go into there. Actually, we'll go, yeah, 2 studs, 2 studs, 2 studs, 2 studs. There we go. Another 2. Another 2. And another 2. So that is the pattern for the line. So you're basically going to have 1 stud free, one stud free down this whole line, but then you got 2 studs, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. So easy pattern on that. Then all you need to do is kind of just follow the pattern going to the other side. Just 2 studs gap as you go. So there you have it. This side is completely done now, as you can see. The 2x2 right across the seam, so that's what's holding the two 16x16 plates in place. And of course, you've got your connectivity with the Technic pieces all in multiple areas. This way it gives you, like as I said, more options. We overhung on this side one stud because we got to connect the other side, which are these lovely plates that we're going to do right now. So we line it up. Just give it a good little push. There you go. There. Now, all we need to do is just mirror this side over onto this side. That's also the shortcut way of doing it, but now we have to mirror this side. So we'll just go through, redo the spots again. So we definitely corner. So we got our Technic piece. And in this corner as well. Technic piece. Then we got our 2x3s would be next. And this is the last 2 of the 2x3s, so we used all 8 of them. And then we're going to add our extra Technic piece, but we're only going to go 1 stud away from that 2x3, and then 1 stud away from that 2x3, and the same thing on this side. And at this side as well. So it's 1 stud, so 2x2, 1 stud, our Technic piece, 1 stud, 2x3, and then Technic piece, and then corner. So there we go. Now, we just got to fill in the middle. Just follow the pattern through, straight across. Pretty straightforward. 2 stud gap. That's all we need to do. And I'll explain for the studded gap as well. I'll get an explanation of that. There are different methods. You can also use bigger blocks in between if you don't want to use individually smaller blocks, but just be mindful of the size of the plates that you use on top. This way you get a solid seam with all the connections going in the right spot. So we'll get there. This is our brace piece. There. And we got an extra one right there. 2. All right, we're almost done. Go through. There we go. All right. There we have it. Make sure they're all solid in place. So there we have it. 16x16. 16x16. Plates being put in place. I'll just zoom out a bit for you there. There you go. Our Technic pieces in place on all the corners and all the sides. Everything's solid in place. As you can see, yeah, it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid right now. We haven't even put the surface layer on. Now, if you are going to do a module that doesn't need 32x32 base plate, like a 16x32, you can also do a 16x32 style. Also, as you can see, where the Technic piece is all lined up, it gives you more options to pin in place. So if you want to do an offset right? So you have a nice little weird alleyway going in the background, or if you really want to make a bigger alleyway or different style L-shaped type buildings and stuff like that, you have more flexibility of how you want to do your buildings and stuff. As you can see, you've got so many different ways you can do this. But here you go. That's an example. 16 by 32, 32 by 32. So there you go. So our next step now is to surface plate these. And that's where these little guys come in place. So just start from your favorite corner and just work your way across. Like as I said, there is a fair amount of these. So there we go. Next layer. All right, through. Like, I'm not even. We're getting to about a quarter of this. You can already feel how much more solid the structure is using this. Also, and I forgot to mention this. The reason why you have all these space and these little extra stud spaces and stuff. If you want to start wiring your Lego city up and stuff like that, this is a great way to run the wires and hide them underneath your city. And then using a smaller base, like smaller plate system, you can pop it out, pop the wires out, and then pop it back in, right? Type scenario. You can also run it through the Technic holes as well. You've got so much options to hide all your wiring system if you're gonna light up your whole city this way. All right, so we're about a third done. All right, there we go. All right, next stack. And again, this is where you also want to be mindful of your design. So if you're doing a complete mock, you got so much you can experiment with. But if you're building a modular set that you bought and that modular set has a specific color of flooring in a certain area that goes onto the base plate or something like that, you may want to replace these light blue-gray bricks or plates with the color of the choice that you want to use for the flooring inside the building and stuff, right? And as well, I'm going to utilize some of the green just to give you an example. So here we have let's go in place. Let's borrow some of these green ones here. I just want to simulate that this plate's going to have a backyard. So we're going to stick some of these green ones in place here. We'll do a second row. Whoops. There we go. Okay, we're going to get a little creative with these last pieces here with how we're going to do our lawn. And we just want a nice little walkway outside of the building onto a nice grass. So there you have it. Now, the reason why, like as I said, the reason why I did green on this side, if I was building the house here, all the structure here, this would be the front, where a road plate would be and stuff like that. The house would be here. Here's a nice little patio from the back of the house. And then you've got a nice grass area to put some flowers and garden boxes and stuff like that. As you can see, that's pretty much how the connections will happen around your plate. As you can, like this is solid. Like this is a solid now. Like as I said, this is the overkill way of doing a MILS plate, just because you're not using a thin, typical Lego base plate that you get from Lego itself, right? Like as I said, that's a 16 by 32 one. So there you have it. So that's that. And again, as you said, here is what it looks like as a 16 by 32. We can plate this up for you as well. Get it right in there. We'll plate this sucker up for you. And for this example, we're going to give it a little bit of a bigger backyard. Or it could be the front yard. Whichever way you decide to do it. But in fact, you can use a blue plate and make it easy to make a fountain or a little pond and stuff like that. So you've got multiple options that you can do. And there we have it. So there you go. 2 plates for you. We got 16 by 32 MILS plate done, as you can see. Same idea, very solid. And then we got a 32 by 32 base plate. And again, the way I did the color, building would go here, and then a nice little grassy knoll, and then you would have your road on this side and stuff like that. All right, so now that we have the base plates done in MILS style, again, if you don't want to use the individual 4x4s to cover everything up, you can also use your 16 by 16 and cover up more, and then it'll be a little less expensive to put everything together as well. So we're talking about option now. Option that you have to keep the cost down, because it can be an expensive build to do these MILS plates. Option is strictly bricks, 10 by 10 base plates. These are 32 by 32. They are actual plates. They're not thin like the Lego plates. They're actually thick like the normal plates that you get from Lego. Again, not endorsing the product or sponsored by the product, or they sent me anything. I bought these off Amazon. This is a 6-pack. We're going to open them up. Toss those down. So here we have it. 16 by 16, 32 by 32 plate. The bottom of it, a little different than a typical Lego has done it, as you can see. The big difference between the bottoms of it, as you can see, they're the exact same thickness as you go through. So if you want to start off with this as the bottom and then build your MILS plate on top of this, that will save you some cost, and you still get the overkill style with a nice, very extra sturdy MILS plate. We got a couple in green, as you can see, and of course we got a couple in blue. They also come in multiple colors. There's like browns, there's sand color, blue, black, gray. Multiple colors. Checking them on Amazon to figure out what kind of packages you get. Do also read the options on Amazon on some of them. Make sure it does say strictly bricks, so you're getting the strictly bricks version and not another copy of a copy of non-Lego or the alternative Lego. Absolutely, these are great. Like as I said, if you're not too worried about having no Lego or an alternative Lego in your set, they will be built on top. Your base plate will be built basically on top of it, so nobody's going to see it anyways. Or you can use it as a top piece, and there you go. You've got the top and bottom, and you're all set. So those are your options. How to build the MILS plates. Again, we're going to do another version, another how-to video. We're going to also convert the city road plates into a MILS as well. So stay tuned for that video to go up. And as always, thank you for watching and hanging out with us. And leave some suggestions in the comments on anything else that you want to have how to. All the parts and pieces that we used for this will be in the description as well. And we'll see you guys in the next video.